tale of the not-so-distant past. The Stag Lord ruled this land. He ruled it through fear, made people disappear. There was no one to take a stand. But what he didn't know, sitting in his chateau, is our heroes would soon take command. Oh, Solaria, your heroes would answer the call. Oh, Solaria, you're home to the bravest of all. Arsenius had his scythe, Muriel had her mind, Dorwat had anger and beer. The Baron had guns, and though they were fun, their fire caused a ring in my ear. I came along and brought them all song, and Reginald made wounds disappear. Oh, Solaria, your heroes array against your foes. Oh, Solaria, you'll soon see an end to your woes. Our heroes arrived, and it didn't take much time before they had entered the fray. They cut down the bandits to the land, returned the balance, and fought back the Stag Lord's decay. So he gathered his power in his broken down tower and conspired to bring a doomsday. Oh, Solaria, your heroes have answered your call. Oh, Solaria, you're home to the bravest of all. The day finally came when the Baron did proclaim, Stag Lord, your evil is done. The hero struck his fortress, an attack made in chorus, as bright and as strong as the sun. They fought long and hard, but they beat that blow hard, freed us each and every one. Oh, Solaria, your people stand proud and stand tall. Oh, Solaria, your land is the greatest and soon to be famous. Your heroes the bravest of all. Tell you a tale of the not-so-distant past. The Stag Lord ruled this land. He ruled it through fear, made people disappear. There was no one to take a stand. But what he didn't know, sitting in his chateau, is our heroes would soon take command. Oh, Solaria, your heroes would answer the call. Oh, Solaria, you're home to the bravest of all. Arsenius had his scythe, Muriel had her mind, Dorwat had anger and beer. The Baron had guns, and though they were fun, their fire caused a ring in my ear. I came along and brought them all song, and Reginald made wounds disappear. Oh, Solaria, your heroes array against your foes. Oh, Solaria, you'll soon see an end to your woes. Our heroes arrived, and it didn't take much time before they had entered the fray. They cut down the bandits to the land, returned the balance, and fought back the Stag Lord's decay. So he gathered his power in his broken down tower and conspired to bring a doomsday. Oh, Solaria, your heroes have answered your call. Oh, Solaria, you're home to the bravest of all. The day finally came when the Baron did proclaim, Stag Lord, your evil is done. The hero struck his fortress, an attack made in chorus, as bright and as strong as the sun. They fought long and hard, but they beat that blow hard, freed us each and every one. Oh, Solaria, your people stand proud and stand tall. Oh, Solaria, your land is the greatest and soon to be famous. Your hero's the bravest of all.
And you know what? I actually remembered to unmute everyone tonight. So considering it's been 2 weeks,
I'm pretty sure.
Let's check it.
I'm pretty sure you said that last time, and we were still muted for like 8
You were
minutes.
muted for like 8-9 minutes, right? That's for sure. I did it. I did the thing. But first and foremost, welcome everyone to Session 4 of Broken Oaths. Last week, one of our players here, Blau, was on an awesome vacation with some of his friends, other friends. He actually has other friends than us. You know, which, how fucking dare you? Oh, I swore right off the bat. Oh, well, too bad. I guess we can start dropping F-bombs. But with that being said, I am Dare Wolf, the Game Master. Super excited to be here tonight and to be back with these awesome people. These are 4 of my friends that I like playing games with. And through some wizardry or sorcery, I convinced them to play games with me. And here we are, playing some games. I do want to just clear the air as far as the whole, you know, ELH thing and those games. It's done, and it's all good. I got nothing but respect for everybody else over there, and nothing but love. So that's all I have to say about that. If anybody is wondering or asks, you know, we're all here to just have a good time. But with enough about that, let me just get that out of the way. We're going to start with introducing the players, my friends. Let's start with Azrael over here.
Hello, I'm Brian. I'm at MindOverBrian on Twitter and on Twitch. Although on Twitch I spell it with a 0 because some jerk has my O. And I'm playing Benwivar Hallow something. I forgot his last name somehow. Hallowbrand? Yeah, that's the one. He is the Asmar sorcerer who can mostly pass as human and who has a somewhat shady past.
I like it. I like it. Blau, fill us in, man.
I am Blau or Joe. I'm playing Eckerd Gerst, the upstanding Abadarian war priest.
Axel?
I'm Axel, and I play Mikhael, who is the kitsune entrepreneur of the group, and a very cute fox. That's that.
Just want to squeeze his little cheeks. And Drew Baca.
Hi, I'm Drew. I'm playing Bizzlelinx Fizzbald, the gnome hunter, and his weasel companion Pauly. That's true.
That's true. All of that is true. And of course, I am the Game Master, Dare Wolf. And when we last left off, our intrepid adventurers, you had met with the Queen, and she had revealed to you that this hag or this monster had been following her and that she'd been running from it. And apparently it has now cornered her and some of her men in the town of Varnhold. Now, upon exiting the mint, you had made your way out, fought some zombies, and then, you know, the Queen had mentioned we have to find Dawkin, we have to find the Musketeers. If we rally the troops, perhaps we can defend. So you had begun making your way towards the center of town and actually through that and back towards the Dancing Bear. However, once you arrived in the center of town, you started to hear a voice. And Axel, Mikhael, do you remember the voice that you heard?
Yeah, it was from my good boy Perry.
That's your good boy
Center
Perry.
of town.
And as you heard this voice, you all kind of stopped, you waited, and then you heard and saw the commander of the guard. You saw the commander of the guard, and she approached you, and through some, I guess, sense motive checks, and through just a little bit of this seems too good to be true, you quickly realized that that wasn't the town guard captain, but instead it was a horrific and nasty looking hag. And I'm going to go ahead and put that on the screen for you guys. I'm going to move you over to here. So we open our scene with the hag transforming out of this guise, this mask that she was wearing. And you watch as she both doubles in size, going from this medium-sized humanoid in armor. It all starts to flake and fade away as the magic just coils away from her. And as she grows, doubling in size, you see this wicked wild hair, a pointed nose, green face. She looks almost like a witch. And as she gets bigger and bigger, doubling in size, becoming a large-sized creature, you watch as there's this flash of lightning and then a crack of rolling thunder that echoes off the streets, down the alleys and the buildings, and it just kind of rolls, and it almost deafens you for a moment. It was right behind her. But with that illumination of the lightning, you see behind her there is almost, you can't even count how many zombies and bodies and creatures are behind her. Just they are illuminated. You see these like shadowy figures, and there's almost this half circle. She's standing about 10 feet from your group, and behind her another 30 feet or so is this wall of bodies, shambling bodies. As she doubles in size, she starts to cackle.
Where is she? Where is the queen? Bring her to me, and I shall let you live.
No.
We seem to be rather outnumbered all of a sudden, friends.
Yes, but we have a cleric of Abadar here, so we should be fine, right? We don't have to worry about all these undead.
Oh,
I look over to the cleric.
cleric's work, right?
yeah, no, he's looking ready to fight, but definitely not looking confident.
As you
Aren't there more priests around here?
give us a perception check, everyone.
Yeah, just looking around. There's no sign of Dawkin and his men, perhaps, or anyone useful.
We're here.
Mikhael, at the mention of aren't there any other priests around there, from the crowd of these shadowy, shambling figures behind the hag, you watch as a shambling zombie comes forward, and you see that the zombie is wearing a holy symbol of what looks like Sarin Ray around its neck, and it shambles, shambling towards you like those other zombies did just outside of the mint.
I don't think that they can help us. And I point towards that one priest in the crowd.
Oh shit.
Where is Perry?
So the voice of Perry, if you recall, there is this drizzling downpour that you can hear both on some of the metal roofs. It's like this tick, 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 tick kind of sound. It's off of Eckerd's armor, this tick, tick, tick. And that is blocking your vision or obscuring your vision anything beyond about 30 feet out from your group. You might be able to see maybe another 10 feet beyond that, but a grand total of 30 to 40 feet. So the voice was somewhere from the center of town. There, you know that there is a statue of the former ruler of Varnhold in the center, surrounded by a pool of water. It's like a fountain, and you think that's about 100 or so feet away from you, based on your current position.
So Ven will step up next to Eckerd and be like, "Hey, bud, you don't look as confident as I would have expected. Are we in real? This is like a trouble. Are we in real trouble? Should we run? This is like a run."
Yeah, it's about 60 to 1 right now. Yeah.
Those are bad odds. I don't really get math. 61 is bad. That's bad.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well,
may I suggest we rescue the prisoners and rethink this plan?
Can we see the prisoners?
I can buy us some time.
As
All right,
you
let's go.
mention, you can buy us some time. The hag doesn't step forward, but leans towards you all. You see as the lightning flashes again. It's almost, It's almost like there's a dance happening between the lightning and this hag, and she leans forward. You see these wicked long claws where her fingers should be. They end in these long, like claw-like nails, and she leans forward again. Her hair seems to be moving of its own accord, almost like a Medusa. She leans forward.
Where is that bitch? Bring her to me. Bring her now.
Ven will engage his pyrotechnic ability, and the fire that is inside his lantern staff will emit a stream of smoke, forming a choking cloud that spreads 20 feet in all directions and blocks all sight, even dark vision, through the cloud.
I love it. Oh my god, I love it. So as you say the command word, there is this plume of... What color is the smoke?
Like black. It's
Like
just
black smoke.
yeah. You know when you put a campfire out and it's not really ready to go out? It's that dark, black, ashy, like...
I love it. So this dark, black, ashy smoke cloud just emanates out from your lantern, just blocking the sight. You hear the hag on the other side just roar. And then as she roars, you hear this chorus of undead voices rise up as well, almost as though they're responding to her. And you can hear the thumbing, thumb, 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 thumb of feet moving towards the black cloud. But this does give you enough time to start to make your escape. So are you heading directly towards the center of town? Are you going to skirt the edge? Where are you guys heading to?
Ven will just run away. All right, bye. Also, anybody who gets inside the cloud takes a -4 to strength and dexterity, unless they can make a DC 15 fortitude save.
Brilliant. I love it.
Eckerd would at least start trying to head for where they heard the gunfire earlier.
So the gunfire would be towards the, if we look at the map, towards the northeast, or northwest, excuse me. So top left side, that's where the dancing bear would be from. That's where you heard the gunfire earlier. And as you begin to head that way, you're actually heading towards the center of the market square, the town square. And as you get closer and closer and closer, eventually you do see Eckhard, and anyone that chooses to follow him, you do see the young Perry has been tied to. So imagine, if you will, there is this statue of a regal-looking man. He's got his hand outstretched as so, like pointing in the direction, almost like an explorer, and hanging from that arm is Perry with his hands tied in a tight knot above him. He doesn't look wounded. He doesn't look like he's been like really injured, but he looks exhausted, and you can see him just hanging there. And again, you hear that voice, help me, anyone, please. And he's about maybe like 5 feet up in the air.
I'm gonna
What's holding him up?
It's an arm, the outstretched arm of the former ruler of Varnhold. He has his hands are bound, and imagine, if you will, on the wrist of the statue, his arms are draped over it.
Okay, I got it. Okay. What else is around us?
As of right now, nothing that you can see. You see that drizzling downpour of rain. You can hear the horde of zombies moving in the direction of where you just were. It appears that smoke screen, that distraction that you put out, has, at least distracted them for some time, and they're currently looking for where you were.
Okay, go up there and bite him down, Pauly. Go get him. Fetch.
And you watch as the weasel looks around, kind of jumps in the water, puts his little paw into it, looks back at you, looks a little uncomfortable, and then slowly walks through it, trying to keep his body up and keep his fur dry, but he can't do it, so he just gives in after about 2 seconds, and just, you hear him. He then scurries up, runs over, looks at the rope, bobs his head back and forth, and then nibble, 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 nibble. And 2 seconds later after that, you see the young Perry flop down into the water.
Catch him, although I am very
Make
weak.
a reflex check. Let's see if you can catch him.
Reflex. Nope.
So you go to catch him, and as he falls, you're like, I got you. And he just goes whoosh right through the center of your outstretched arms with a sploosh, and then falls back on his backside, just into the water, and is partially submerged for a moment right before you're able to reach down, I assume, and then lift him up into your arms.
Then we'll prestidigitate Pauly as he comes down.
As Pauly comes down, he gets to the edge, does that almost dog-like thing where he's like, and the water just goes everywhere, splashing everyone. But right as that happens, Venavar, you are able to go ahead and prestidigitate, and it just goes clean. But instead of going dry, he actually plumes up as though he's been like with an air dryer, blow dryer, exactly. He's like, woof, and he like looks around and then looks embarrassed for a moment, but then scurries back next to Bix's side.
You look fine, buddy. Thanks.
I mean,
Do we
Good
still
job.
have the horse? Can I put Perry on the horse? Is the horse here?
No. Remember, I told the horse to go run, think he could outrun
Yeah.
zombies.
Right, because it's not combat trained, I remember.
Eckerd, I'd like you to, for no reason at all, roll a D100, please.
Horse gonna run.
Do you want
through
high
this.
or low? That's the question.
Always low.
Always low. Oh, yeah!
Hey.
So, from somewhere towards the southeast, you hear, "Roar, wee," poof, and you hear, "Roar," and you hear galloping.
Weird. My
away.
horse is combat trained now. No.
Oh, yeah. That horse is not having any of it. It is.
This is how you combat train a horse.
Yeah.
He
You know
was
what?
afraid of
It
city
might
full
get
of
combat
zombies.
training after this, assuming it survives a couple more D100 rolls. I think it might. That's good.
Eckerd's gonna put your fingers to his mouth and let like whistle, like hoping it will come. That's a cavalry horse thing, but maybe.
Oh my god, that is.
I'll give you a handle animal if you want, or if you want D100. I don't.
We'll get to that. The horse is running off.
Okay.
It's off in the distance.
All right,
But
that's fine.
you all have managed to rescue Perry. Perry looks up to Mikhail, excuse me, and he looks up to you, and his eyes blink. You can tell he's very exhausted. He's been hanging there for some time. His strength is sapped. As you pick him up, he's just a body in your hands. If you didn't see his eyes just ever so slightly moving, you might even think that he was gone. But he looks up in a very weak, exhausted voice. He says, "Are we winning?"
To be determined. How about you go to sleep now and we talk later? Okay, you're safe.
Okay, zoom to Sleepy Town. And he just passes out in your arms.
At least unbelievable. Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, no, he believes you. It's sleep time for sure. Absolutely for sure. So you all have rescued Perry. You've prestidigitated, that's a word. You've prestidigitated Pauly, and you're able to make your move. So what direction are you guys heading at this point?
I think still
Wherever
towards the
Eckerd
gunfire.
goes. Yeah.
Eckerd, I'm going to have you make a quick perception or survival check, whichever you prefer.
My survival's worse, so it's probably that one. No, but your perception.
Brilliant. With your perception, you can hear that horde of zombies. You can hear the hag again screaming in just complaining and frustration. Where did they go? Where did they go? Where is she? Bring them to me. You hear the horde of zombies starting to not move directly towards you all, but starting to spread out, kind of in the search pattern out away. You can hear the shambling feet and the moans. But at the same time, you also hear a couple of very muted, and they sound distant. They sound like they're up towards the upper ward where the dancing bear is located. You hear a couple of gunshots. You hear some muzzle blasts from that direction. Some pop, pop.
Ven
Eckerd,
is going to search the ground for a pebble,
Mhm.
and then cast light on it and throw it down one of the side roads.
I love it. I absolutely love it. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to roll. What is your highest level of spell that you can cast?
First,
What is the DC of a first level spell for you?
15.
I love it. All right, give me one moment.
hearing that the horde's spreading out, Eckerd will actually crouch and say, "Do we want to try and make another run at the hag? We know where she is. The horde's spreading out."
I would feel safer if we had a dozen of armed men at our side.
Yeah, with guns.
With guns, yes.
I mean,
Guns are very important.
I mean, we're brave, but
I think I might have enough magical energy for maybe one more spell. maybe,
Shit. All
of
right.
any kind of consequence.
Musketeers it is.
Good, good. Let us run ahead then, so she does not find us before that.
Beautiful. And as you all begin to move off away, Venevar, if you look back over your shoulder in the direction of this, you can just see it through the rain. It's very muted. It's very, kind of like you can see the rain is like almost containing the light. But you see that there is a large group, and including a large, even larger sized outline, an image that you see there that is likely the hag. So that trick that you did is working. It's giving you a couple extra moments to get away from them. So as you all continue to head northeast, or northwest, excuse me, towards the upper ward, you start to hear more and more gunfire. You hear the moans of some zombies. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to move you guys back over to the big old city streets map. And give me one moment to go ahead and do that. We got this, we got that, we got this guy. And we're going to do this. We're going to stop the emotional music. We're going to pivot you guys over to this map. All right. So you all are approaching. You move in and out of alleyways. I'm assuming that you're likely trying to avoid any zombies, any other, combatants as of now until you actually reach the Dancing Bear where likely Dawkin is located. Is that a safe assessment?
Sure.
Correct.
Excellent.
Clumsy Bear.
The Clumsy Bear, excuse me. I want it to be the Dancing Bear. I don't know why, but it's a clumsily dancing bear. So the Clumsy Bear. But as you all are moving in that direction, I'm going to actually have you pop out just over here. So let me get you guys onto the map here really quick. So Eckerd, Mikhael, then Bix and Pauly. So the Clumsy Bear is down this kind of side alley. You make your way down, you take a hard left, and then there's a well in the center. It's almost like its own little like Clumsy Bear little town square area. And you see that Dawkin and 3 of the Musketeers have made this makeshift barricade on the front porch of the Clumsy Bear. They've got tables up, they've got their rifles, they're reloading, and as you look to that direction, you see that there are a number of these zombies that are currently pressing in towards their direction, and it looks like at this moment that they're likely about to fall. You see that some of the zombies have made their way up to the edge of it. You hear Dawkin shouting, "Hold them back! Hold them back! Hold them back! We've got to hold them back!" And you see one of the Musketeers is actually using the butt of his gun to like push a zombie off the porch, which stumbles back, falling to the ground. The rain is coming down. From inside, you can hear what sounds like some of the patrons, not panicking, but you can hear their frantic voices. "Oh my God, they're going to get in. They're going to get in. What do we do? Barricade the door. Hold them back." And with that, we're actually going to drop into a little bit of combat and let you guys intervene on behalf of the Musketeers. And actually, let me do this. Let me go ahead and move the old turns and broke over to here. Boop. All right. I love it. Okay. We got 0, 1, 2.
Stop counting, Wolf.
Why? I just gotta make sure I have enough zombies to kill you. It's 3 zombies for every character. And I think Pauly counts as a character as well. So there you go. Alright, and then we got Dawkin.
Like 15 zombies. Oh boy.
Ugh, yikes. Hard yikes, right? Boop.
I'm lucky mage armor lasts for so many hours instead of just
Alright.
minutes.
And as you all round the corner, I think it is thematically appropriate for you all to get a surprise round on the zombies as they are wholly focused on the barricade, on Dawkin and the 3 Musketeers that are trying to defend the Clumsy Bear. So I'm going to have you guys all take a quick surprise round, meaning you can take a standard or a move action. We're going to start with, I believe, Bix. Bix, you're up first.
Okay. Bix is hold on, let me check my spells. I think I have one first level left.
Great reference, Brian. Do you hear the people singing the song of angry Solarians? It is the music of a Solarian. I don't know. That's terrible. Is that copyright infringement? I don't even know. We're having a good time. It's all good.
That's fair use, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I'm going to cast Entangle right here.
I love it. Entangle.
Yes.
All right. And where would you like it centered?
I believe it was right there.
Cool. So that is a 40-foot spread. And I'm
40
just going
foot
to
spread.
go out on a limb and assume that you're going to make sure that it only hits the zombies. Is that a safe assessment?
Yes.
All
Yes.
right, excellent. And as you cast the spell, now this is, some of it's cobblestone, some of it is maybe, you know, wet dirt, so there are obviously paved roads here in Varnhold, but even still, you know, there's not folks going out and picking the weeds, so you watch as the little bits of grass and weeds that kind of poke through those little cobblestone pathways and roads start to grow and expand, and as they grow and expand, they writhe up like tendrils from the abyss and start grasping onto the zombies that are, you know, shambling forward towards the Clumsy Bear's front porch. And what is the DC on that spell, my friend?
That would be where are my saves?
Great spell, by the way. That is gonna
Yeah.
neuter those guys.
That might be the first time in my entire career as a gamer that I've actually cast that spell.
You know what? I'm glad that I was here for it. Good man.
I never play spellcasters. Where
You only
is
play bards.
my DC? Yeah, and I usually played bards. The DC's 14. I'm sorry.
14, perfect. All right, maybe we'll start rolling for these zombies. Well, the zombie on the left is very much grappled. And next up would be Venvar.
You're not gonna roll. You're gonna roll checks for every.
Oh, I'm going
zombie,
to.
just the one?
I'm going to let
Oh,
you
okay.
keep going so that we can keep things rolling. Oh, that one's definitely failing.
Ven's
Oh,
gonna be
that
like,
one.
well, I've only got one of these, but then he conjures up his fireball, his tiny little fire snowball, I guess ashball, and then hucks it like a fastball pitcher
Mhm.
right at this zombie right here.
The one right in front of you?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Right there.
So all of them failed?
Wow.
All of them failed except for one. So that is wild. And as you pull together that flaming, I think you described it as kind of like this ashy clump of ash that's maybe flaming a little bit.
It's technically it's the snowball spell, but because I'm an elemental sorcerer, I can theme it fire instead.
I like it. I like it. So as you chuck that flaming piece of fiery ash at this zombie, you watch as the snowball or the fireball looks like it's going to go wide, and then Bix, the tendrils, the grassy tendrils that have come up, lean it forward, and it hits it right in the side of the head. And as it strikes it, you watch as a portion of its face is melted away, revealing the skull beneath, and then it turns to the right, looking over in your direction, just with half of its face melted away. It's still standing, but looks very, very, very wounded. Eckerd
Triggered into remembering a very unpleasant thing that happened to him previously. Ven immediately vomits into the.
Oh dear. I'm gonna go ahead and give you the sickened condition for the next 4 rounds. You are sickened because of those horrific memories, and I know what you're referencing, and I like that. That is good. Next up is Eckerd Gerst. What are you doing, sir?
Eckerd's gonna 5-foot step up, draw his long sword, and activate the earth blessing upon it, so it gets corrosive.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Those guys are not going. Pauly, what's Pauly's battle plan here?
Polly's gonna move up to. This is Polly going to? Jesus, why didn't I think of this? Polly's gonna hold back.
Okay.
His blood drain really won't work against these guys. So.
Although there is this battle going on, you can see the Musketeers reloading. They've actually looked over. Dawkins looks over and shouts towards Eckerd. Priest, is that you?
We're here.
What of the Queen?
She's safe.
Good. Do what you can. We have to hold these beasts back. And he, brings up his musket and readies it. And last but certainly not least is in the surprise round, Mikhael. Go ahead.
Nice. I'll just chuck a dart at this zombie right there.
I love it.
I get a -2. I'll do it myself.
I have faith.
And sneak attack. All right.
Oh, a crit! Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
So, similar to what happened, you throw the dart, and it's going straight towards this thing's head. The grass of this entangle pulls it up, pivots it, so that it's not going towards the side, but right through the center of its temple, like right there, and its head just boof explodes from the dart. It's aggressive, and there's that shower of the putrid gas and nastiness that was described last time, but then it just crumples as those vines reach up, grab onto it, and just pull it down to the ground, almost pulling it down into the earth, along with those tendrils. So that one is down.
I 5-foot step here, and then I look over to Van, who's apparently throwing up, and go, ugh.
As that happens, we go actually to the top of the round. This is your standard actions. You can go ahead and do a full round action. We are first with Bix.
Bix is going to. Which one? I guess I'll do a rapid shot to this. Hold on, I'm not pulling. To this guy.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Oh,
8
I'm
and
sorry.
10. So as you fire both the arrows, you watch as once again the tendrils, as though they have a mind of their own, pick the zombie up. But as it moves it forward, the arrow goes behind. As it moves it back, the arrow goes in front, and both go thunk thunk right into the tables that have been set up as a barricade on the porch. And Dawkin looks over and just kind of shakes his head at you like, what the hell, man? Like, you almost hit me. What the heck? but you looked really cool doing it, and that's what's important. That's what matters. Next up is going to be Dawkin, who brings his musket up, readies it, and is going to go ahead and fire at the same zombie that you just tried to attack. So we're going to go ahead and give him an attack roll. 22 to hit, which is a hit. Plus 6. It is 8 damage. You watch as there's that musket, the flash of the gunpowder. You can see the zombie take the bullet, and as it takes the bullet, there's a chunk of its chest that kind of implodes with it and shoots out the back, and it stumbles a little bit as the vines continue to grab onto it, but it is still standing right now in this moment. Next up is Ven. You don't feel good. You're hacking up your lunch or breakfast, but what do you do?
Ven sort of wipes his mouth and he's like, fuck these guys. And then I'm going to try and shoot an elemental ray of fire at the same one who looked at me with his half-burned face.
That one's dead.
Oh, good. In which case I'll shoot one of the ones that's closer to the...
That one did just take a shot from Dawkin, so it is looking wounded. It's got a big old hole in its chest. 15 touch attack for 5 damage. You watch as this elemental ray of fire lances out from your finger, and striking it in the arm, it severs the arm. The arm falls to the ground. Once again, the vines reach up, grab it, pull it down. Doggo! Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Reach up. Got distracted by pets. I love them. But reaches up, the arm is grabbed, pulls it down, and then it lances through the center, actually cutting it in half, and it topples down onto the ground, defeated. Very nice. Anything else?
Ven will stagger closer to this wall so we can lean against it. Just, oh.
Next up is Eckerd.
Eckerd is going to ready in action to engage any of them to free themselves. Just like
Love
make
it.
an attack if they come into melee range.
Love it. This musketeer that is right at the barricade actually isn't wielding a weapon, and it's just holding the table up. It looks like it was maybe getting pushed back, so he just braces himself against that table to give it a little bit more support. This zombie here is grappled by these vines, these grassy vines, and some of the weeds that had grown with this Entangle spell. It's going to attempt to do its best to go ahead and break free from the grapple. And a 16 is good enough. I believe it was a 15 for your DC. Okay, so it manages to break free of the grapple. However, that was its move action, and then it's just going to shamble forward 20 feet through it, and then has to make another reflex save to go ahead and try to not be grappled again, which it is then grappled. So you watch as it breaks through, just tearing the grass off its arm, stumbling forward towards you, and then it gets about 20 feet forward, and the vines once again just wrap around and start to pull it down and hold it in place. Same thing for this one. He's going to go ahead and make a quick check. 17 manages to break free. He's going to stumble forward 20 feet, makes another reflex. Once again is grappled. This one does the same thing. Tries to break free. Doesn't break free. Is stuck in place. Pauly the Weasel.
I'm just gonna have him heal and come back to me. I'll hold him in reserve, but I don't think he's gonna be. I don't want him getting in the middle of it right now.
Not a problem. 14. This one manages to break free and stumbles forward right next to the table that one musketeer was against. And as he stumbles forward, you watch as the musketeer pushes that table, rocking it back and forth as though it's been braced on both sides, but there's just enough play to where he can try to melee or push the zombie off. And so I'm going to have him make a quick combat maneuver check. Let's see if this works. I believe in you, Musketeer. 17 is good. So you watch as the zombie is actually pushed back away from the wall and stumbles back 5 feet and has to end its turn right there. And once again, is going to make a quick grapple check. And manages to stay free of the vines as well. This one here is going to go ahead and try to break free as well. 20 manages to break free and then gets close enough to Eckerd so that his readied action goes off.
Whoa. 12 for 6.
12 for 6. 12. This thing is not grappled. That is
Probably
actually a miss, unfortunately. So you
All right.
slash at it. You manage to cut into the creature, but it just seems to be superficial. It cuts dead flesh, does no sustainable damage to the animated zombie. But that was his move action, so he cannot take an attack on you. This one here was not grappled, but does have to make a check at the beginning of its turn. Rolls a 16, is free, and lunges forward, attempting to attack the Musketeer that just shoved the other one off, and gets a 19. So you watch as this zombie moving with almost lightning quickness. There's another flash of lightning. The entire battlefield is illuminated. You can see the vines writhing more clearly. The rain almost looks like it dissipates for a second, so you can see the entirety of the battlefield illuminated. And it lunges forward as this Musketeer pushes and gets a good chomp right on his arm, and he screams out in pain. And he's going to take some damage. 7 damage. And you watch as just a chunk of his arm is just torn back. He recoils, pulling it under, trying to shove the zombie off, and stumbles back, actually falling to the ground, and looks like he is now, unfortunately, unconscious. This zombie here is going to attempt to break free. Does not do so and is stuck in place. Mikhael, you're up next.
I felt pretty safe behind Eckhard, but now a zombie just came up and he just missed it. So I'm like, I take a 5-foot step back.
Oh, no.
I will move action, draw a hidden weapon, and try to chuck it at this one. That's easier to hit.
Mm-hmm.
So sleight of hand first, see if it notices it.
Yeah, the zombie's really focused on being a zombie right now and doesn't notice the fox person right there. So it looks like
Makes sense. Cool. I chuck the dart at it. Once that happens.
18
Okay.
for 6. So the 18 goes through. So you watch as the dart strikes it, and for a second doesn't look like it's doing much. But then you see right behind it, it looks like one of its vertebrae was actually popped out the backside, and it loses an inch of height, but continues to shamble forward. So definitely a solid blow, but the creature is still animated. Next up is this Musketeer back here, who readies a musket, as Musketeers do, levies it at the creature that just attacked his friend, and is going to go ahead and make a quick attack roll with that. 22 is a hit. That's 4... 9 damage to that zombie, and once again, it is a upper chest shot. You watch as bits of rotten flesh come flying out of its back. It stumbles, with the pressure of the hit, stumbles back, but then continues to ready itself and lunge forward with outstretched hands and a hungry open jaw. This Musketeer here is going to pivot and starts actually banging on the table that's right in front of him, screaming, over here, you motherfuckers, over here, trying to distract them from his friend that has been pushed to the ground. We're back to Bix.
Bix is going to take a shot at this one. And I'm going to use my multi-shot again.
I believe you got this.
Come on. There it goes. Jesus.
10. That shot goes wide, and you were shooting at which one? If you could ping it for me again, I think I missed it. That one? Perfect.
Yeah.
So you go to shoot at that one. The first shot does go wide, but that second shot strikes it right in the neck, severing the head. It just kind of pops off, and the creature's lower body shambles there for a moment, like grasping wildly, reaches down, finds its head, picks it up, and then the vines reach up and pull it to the ground as it deanimates. That zombie is down. Anything else, Bix?
That's my action.
Love it. Keep it up, men! Keep it up! And you watch as Dawkin grabs onto the fallen Musketeer and actually drags him back towards the door. positioning himself in front of the fallen musketeer and readying his rifle once again for any zombies that make their way up. Ben, we're back to you.
Still trying to shake off his unfortunate flashback. Ben will sort of scan the battlefield. There's one zombie that's sort of the first one he sees, and so he'll throw another elemental blast.
Perfect.
In that direction.
Perfect. Ooh, roll to confirm. I really hope this doesn't confirm. Magic crit. Ooh, magic crit miss. Oh boy. Okay. Everyone, I just want you to know the dice have a story to tell.
It was nice playing with you.
It was nice playing with you. So the effect is the spell hits you instead of the target. Normal saves apply. So you go to shoot the ray of fire, and then cannot hold in the retching feeling that you have. You start to go and as you go it lances up, strikes you in the side of the face. And go ahead and roll damage.
It's on there.
Such
-3.
a brutal.
Yikes, 3 damage. So it just lances right up, and you see this little scorch mark right up the side of your face, almost like a tattoo of black up the side of your face, and it doesn't feel good. Does not feel good. Anything else you'd like to do with this round?
No. Ven will sort of lean against the wall, slide down to his butt, just sitting on the ground like, oh
Man.
just feeling very sorry for himself.
Eckerd, you're up next,
I'm going to attempt to cut down this zombie here once again.
I believe.
No.
Oh.
No.
You bring your sword up, and again, you cut into it. You strike undead flesh, but it is just another superficial cut into the creature, and it just continues to press forward on you. You just can't seem to find the magically enhanced bits of flesh that would cut it down. Next up is this musketeer back here, who I'm going to have make a quick save. He does not stabilize and continues to unfortunately bleed out. This zombie here is going to attempt to break free of the horrific things. Nat 20 on his save. So he makes a nat 20, and you watch as, pulling from some sort of unholy necromantic energy, this zombie just wrenches free. And I'm going to give him a full action here to lunge forward at Eckerd and make an attack roll on the cleric himself for a 13, which I'm assuming is a miss. So he rushes forward, just clang with both of his hands. Now, do you wield a shield? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, he has a buckler, so
Excellent.
he's buckler fighting.
Bink. Just block both of them with the buckler. Both of his arms fly back, just moaning at you with anger. All right, this one here is going to attempt to break free, I believe. 25, let's go. He's going to lunge forward, actually gets to the table that is blocking the main stairs, and just rushes into it, pushing it back as it cracks in half, actually revealing and opening up a pathway for the zombies to charge into the Clumsy Bear. This one back here is again going to attempt to break free as well. He rolls a 10. He's still stuck in place. Pauly the Weasel is up next.
This is the one. All right, I'm gonna send Pauly after this one. Because our bro needs saving.
19 for 3. Nice. Pauly manages to bite into that creature, like latching onto its shin, and then pulls back, tearing off a bit of flesh, spitting it out, because obviously we don't want Pauly to get sick, and brings a little bit of bone with it. So the creature is stumbling there, having a hard time actually maintaining its balance. I'm actually going to give it a small minus to its AC as well for that attack. Next up is Soviet Menace. Thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it, dude. And this one here is not currently grappled, lunges forward towards Dawkin with all of its might. Rolls a 13. Dawkin takes the butt of his rifle and just uppercuts the zombie. It rolls back, its attack just completely going wide. This zombie here, seeing Eckerd having blocked the other zombie, knows this is its chance to shine. This is where it's going to get its zombie Medal of Honor. It is ready. He's going to throw all of his might into this attack and roll a 19, which I believe is
That's
a
a
hit.
hit.
That is a hit. So
On
as
the
you are
die.
blocking the other two, it gives this zombie a chance. Pushing your sword out of the way, it lunges forward, getting a solid bite through like just a little bit of a hole in your armor right there. Manages to nick a little bit of your neck there. Plus 4, and you take a whopping 10 points of damage. So it's not a nick, it's a chunk of flesh that comes out of that shoulder, and some of the armor is actually bent back, revealing a bit of flesh and skin. And you just see this like pool of blood come out. I need you to also make a fortitude save, please.
I'm already got the disease.
Oh, you do. Make another one,
Yeah.
please. I like it. I like it. We're gonna let it pass for this time. You don't get super disease, which is good. So there you go. Can you imagine? I'm just
Oh
kidding.
my
I'm just
God.
imagining. That'd be terrible. All right. Next up is this zombie in the back line, still stuck, still trapped by this entangle, and you watch as more vines start to grab onto it, and it's just struggling against these grassy tendrils that are holding onto it. Next up is Mikhail.
All right. Well, there's a hurt zombie over here, so I'll try to finish it off. Their hidden dart. Okay, I don't think it sees that one.
I don't think you see it. You forget you even have a dart. Where did it go?
I don't know. It's fine. I don't need to see it. I'll just throw it.
You just flick your hand, hoping something's there.
Yeah,
21,
so that
and
works.
you were targeting the one on the right of Eckerd or on the left of Eckerd?
This one.
That one?
That's hurt.
Brilliant. As you chuck it, you watch as Pauly has taken this chunk out. It tilts down, and as it's trying to steady itself, the dart catches it right in the chest. And for whatever reason, that must have been where the magic necromancy bits were, because this thing just stumbles back right into the entanglement and is just crumpled down
Yeah,
into the ground.
that's where I was aiming. See?
For the magic bits, right? For the magic
Yeah,
For the
part.
magical
yeah,
I like
necromancy
it.
bit. Yeah.
Can you imagine? I love it. All right, next up is this musketeer here. Seeing that zombie has broken through, he takes the butt of his rifle, and you notice on the butt of his rifle there's actually a blade on the butt of his rifle, and he brings that blade up, trying to slash at the zombie and do a little bit of damage to it. We're gonna go ahead and have him make an attack roll. 24 is a hit. So he's going to be a 1d6 plus his strength, which isn't great because he's a ranged character. He deals a solid 3 points of damage. You watch as a bit of the undead flesh is carved off of the zombie's shoulder and actually revealing a bit of bone on the left shoulder of that zombie. This musketeer here brings his rifle to bear on the one that is next to Dawkin and takes a pot shot at him. 12. The shot goes wide. You can see him like hesitate for a moment, and as he hesitates, he fires, and the shot just goes right past the zombie. He was making sure he didn't want to try to hit Dawkin. We're back to the top of the round with Bix.
All right, Bix will take a shot at this guy. Let's see, Bix.
I believe Bix. Everyone, Bix.
Bix.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So the first arrow right into the center of the chest, right into the solar plexus. You hear the bone Eckerd crack and kind of sever, and you watch as his chest seems to expand a little bit from the center of his chest being, the center bone being broken. And the second arrow strikes him right above the heart where the necromantic energy is, and does no damage, unfortunately. But it looks really cool. And Mikhail, you know that he just barely missed, unfortunately. That's because you know where the magic bits are, right? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
All right, and Dawkin is up next. Dawkin is going to take the butt of his rifle, just melee this zombie right in the face. We're going to go ahead and roll a quick attack roll for him. 25 is a hit. Come on, Dawkin. 4 points of damage to that zombie. It's still standing. And you watch as he does the butt of the attack. But if you know, zombies do have DR5, unfortunately, so he butts it. Doesn't seem to do any damage, but it does manage to kind of keep him at bay for the time being. Next up in the initiative is Van, who is like slouching, sitting down
Like
on the
sitting
ground.
on the ground. Yeah. In
Not
fact, he's
feeling
gonna
good.
Right, it's everything.
Ben
There's
is gonna
zombies,
jump over, realize there's like a garden right here, so he's just gonna crawl over, vomit into that garden there again, and then look up and be like, "Oh, those guys are not doing good," and he's gonna try and Like, whoa, elemental ray.
And which one are you targeting?
The one that's right at the front.
I love it. Please don't roll in that one.
You shoot, Dawkin.
Oh no!
Why did you have to say it?
No!
Oh my god!
Oh no! All right, we're gonna draw a critical miss card now, because this is how Ben
This is
talks.
this is the worst.
All right, we got the attack. Oh no, the hat ticks you, but you must lose a spell slot of the highest available level.
That's okay. I didn't have any more spells
Oh,
left.
perfect.
So
So-
essentially, I'll lose nothing and it still hits.
So you go to lance again, but as you're like targeting, you like maybe have your other hand out because you're like aiming with it.
No, it doesn't. Sorry. Well, if it doesn't hit me, it hits, but I move. I
Oh,
lose
the
the
attack
spell.
hits, but you lose a spell.
Yeah,
Okay.
these
yeah.
cards
So you
are
go to aim.
something.
You go to aim, and as you're aiming, you realize that if you're about to shoot, you're about to hit your hand, and you lower it, and the attack goes flying forward, and you feel a bit of your magical energy be like getting like pulled out. But it's all good. You do hit. So go ahead, and the damage on that is 2. So 2 solid damage.
Three.
That creature.
Three.
Three.
It's the original
first
attack.
one. All right, perfect. So it cuts off, burning a bit of undead flesh off the back, and yeah, solid blow. Solid blow. You feel a little weakened though, unfortunately.
I'm helping.
Next up is Eckerd. I'm
Uh,
helping.
Oh.
Once again, gonna try and cut it down, but he's maneuvering this time as well. He's stepping up.
Beautiful.
That's 14 for 7 and 1.
14. That one is 14. That is actually a hit. That is actually.
Oh my
a hit with the
God, what?
14. That is a hit
Wow.
with the 14.
Hard
You
hit something?
bring the sword up, slashing at a downward angle, and it's just like you've been cutting the same undead flesh, just whoosh, whoosh, and you finally hit something important.
Slicing it like a roast beef.
The magic bits, you
And
found them.
You found the magic bits. It's still standing, but you've cut it open some, and it looks like it's starting to waver and maybe start to the magic's starting to fade. This
All right,
guy
and
in
he's
the
also
back-
going to go ahead and fervor himself with his last remaining fervor.
Love
That's a
it.
pretty good one.
That's actually really good. This one back here is going to make another save. Come on, you can do it. 13. It was at minus. He actually manages to stabilize. Guy doesn't look like he's bleeding out quite as bad as he was, which is good. This zombie here is going to attempt to break free. Rolls a 20. He's going to lunge forward and is going to attempt to attack that guy. 15 is a miss. This one back here, once again, is going to attempt to break free. 14 is good enough. That was the DC, right, Vex? So he manages to break
Correct.
free, lunges forward to here, has to make another save to not be grappled. He gets grappled again, and we're back to Pauly.
He wants to break free.
Let's see. What is Polly's movement? That's 30. Okay.
All right, guys, I hate to do this. I really have to use the bathroom. I got all this nervous energy. Keep it here. We're going to stay live. I'll be right back. I promise. Super sorry. I'll be right back.
No worries.
I really got it. Woo!
Well, I'm gonna run grab
Quick,
some
guys.
food then. I'll be right back.
Move the minis. Move the minis.
Well, I am gonna run Polly up to this guy here.
Through the entangle?
No, he can move around it.
All right. Okay. Makes sense.
Fine. There. Or no, I wouldn't move him there. I'd move him here, so he can go after this one.
Well, I guess I'm gonna be right back real quick as well.
Yeah, me too.
Why I shouldn't have like 4 cups of coffee right before I go use the bathroom. Oh, everybody's gone. Sorry, everybody. Hey, we're back.
Only most people are gone.
Yeah, no, it's good. Like, I had like 2 cups of coffee right before the stream, and it just woof right through me. So I'm an old man. But when we last left off,
I just went to grab dinner.
That's perfect. It's perfect timing. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for sticking with us, everybody. All right. I believe it was Pauly's turn. So what is Pauly doing?
So Pauly's gonna run up on the guy that's attacking Eckerd, and he's going to make a little bite.
17
Yeah.
for 3. Solid.
Get him,
blow.
Pauly.
And once again, taking out the shin, taking out the bit of bone with it. The creature stumbles. Pauly's got this down to a fine friggin' science. He rips away some of that, and the creature stumbles a little bit. This one in front of Dawkin is going to go
Actually,
ahead and go ahead.
Hold on. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do the blood drain, but I am gonna do the grapple. He can have a he gets automatic grapple when he makes a bite attack.
Excellent. Excellent. So that creature not only has the minus that I was giving him from the attack on his shin, but also has the minuses for being grappled. So Eckerd, if you don't hit this guy next round, that's on you. All right, that is on you. Good.
Oh, it was on me the whole time.
That's fair.
They're zombies.
This one here is going to attempt to go ahead and take a quick swing at Eckerd, but he is currently grappled. 13 clinks right off your buckler. Just ka-tonk. No thank you. This one here is going to attempt to break free off in the center of the battlefield. 16 is good. He is going to lunge forward towards you all. He's going to make another quick check not to be re-grappled, and he manages to just continue to trudge forward through the grappling and writhing vines. Mikhail, you're up next.
It's me. Well, I think I'll try hitting the easier target again, which is this thing. So I'll chuck a dart at that one. Because I'm sure Eckerd will take out the one close to him, right? Right?
Of course.
Yeah.
He's got
Always.
this.
Here's sleight of hand.
You once again lose the dart. You throw both hands, not sure which one's in it. I like it. Like reminds that.
Blindly flail my hand at it.
I
and then
love
a
it.
dagger appears somehow. It's a dart, actually, but yeah. Oh, great.
Ooh. It just barely nicks the shoulder. There was a little bit of magic there, so it like the shoulder kind of like twitches, but doesn't really seem to do too much sustainable damage, unfortunately. This musketeer here, once again with his bladed musket, is going to go ahead and slash at the one right in front of Dawkin, trying to take that one out. I believe 22 is a hit. Come on, Musketeer. 5 points of damage. You watch as that one in front, he just slashes up, cutting it open. It falls back into the entangled effect and is once again grappled by the vines and pulled down into the earth. So that one is down. This one here has reloaded his musket, brings it up to bear, and actually turns on the one that's currently grappled right here. You get the feeling he's assuming that his friends can take care of it, so he's going to go ahead and make a quick attack roll on that one. 10. Boom. The bullet goes right through the zombie. Doesn't seem to do any damage. No flesh comes out. It's just a solid in and out shot. No sustainable
A
damage.
barrel explodes around here.
That would be horrific. If he rolled a 1, it might actually happen. That is a possibility. Yes, misfires are a thing. Next up is Bix.
Bix is gonna go after the one here. With his rapid shot again.
15 is a hit, and that was the one right in front of Eckerd, or the one
Yes.
that... Okay, perfect.
Yeah, the one in front of Eckerd.
So unfortunately, Eckerd, stealing your glory, you watch as right between your legs, I imagine you have yourself potentially like planted, ready for fighting, your shield's ready, you're about to bring that sword up and take out this zombie, and an arrow comes right between your legs. You can feel the breeze, maybe on the bits down there, and whoosh, right into the zombie, hits it right in the magic necromantic heart, and it stumbles back, falling to the ground, and is defeated. Is indeed defeated. Bix. Anything else?
That's it.
Dawkin, is going to 5 foot to here. You watch as he reloads his musket, brings it to bear on the zombie next to his friend, and is going to shoot for a 19, which is a hit. D10 plus 6. 12 points of damage. You watch as that zombie headshot. Boof. Just a pink mist, and the creature drops to the ground, defeated. We've got them! We've got them! Hold them back! Only 2 to go! Only 2 to go, men! That. You're feeling a little better. I believe it's been 4 rounds. Is this number
the last
4?
one.
Ah,
Yeah.
So close. So close.
Ben sort of levers himself along the planter box to like back to standing. He's like, oh, these zombies suck. And then he's gonna fire elemental blast at this zombie right here. By the way, I cost myself an elemental ray for that last miss, an extra one.
9 unfortunately does go wide. You're not feeling good. The last bit of that retching that you've had, just ray lances out, cuts a couple of the writhing vines in half, but does no damage to the zombie. Eckerd, you're up next.
Going to begin circling around the
There is
entanglement.
enough space, like through Ven and through this garden, where you might be able to like slip through. Imagine like the railing, like the fence of that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and double move to there then.
Perfect. Dawkin looks over to you. It's good to see you, priest. Thank you. I don't know what would have happened had you not shown up in time.
I think we could say the same.
Quick nod of his head, and then he goes right back to fighting. Next up is this guy here. He is stabilized. This zombie is going to attempt to break free and lunge forward. 18 works. He's going to lunge forward and attempt to make a quick attack at Dawkin. 22 does hit, as Dawkin was looking over to Eckerd. And this isn't to blame you, Eckerd, but it is your fault. He looks over, and then as he goes to go back, the zombie knocks the gun like to the side, and then does a quick bite right into his chest, just like arsh, chomping down, dealing a whopping.
Does Eckhard lose XP for this?
Absolutely not. It's not his fault. It's just his fault. And he gets a big chunk taken out. You can see a bit of his clothing. Some of his Musketeer jacket is torn away. And there's a big bite mark right across his chest. But he then takes his rifle and pushes the zombie off of him and is currently still standing. This is now the Weasel's turn.
The Weasel is going to the Weasel's gonna move up there. And that was a run, so he can't do anything else.
Okay, perfect. Next up is this zombie here, seeing its opportunity to shine. The defensive shield that is Eckerd is gone. There's this delicious-looking fox person right in front of him. He's going to go ahead and make a check to break free.
I barely have any meat on me. It's fine.
Nat
So-
20 on his break free check. So lunging forward, once again with lightning quickness, he is going to manage to get all the way next to Mikhail for an 11, which I believe is a
Nope.
miss. You
What?
just quickly, like, and it's just, arr, and you just duck down, arr, lunging forward towards you. And it is now your turn.
I raise my arms defensively, feigning innocence, as is my specialty. And then I chuck a hidden dagger at him.
I love it.
Not in the face! Not in the face!
Look, I'm aiming for the magic bits, man. We'll see where it. Oh, okay.
Oh! Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Holy
snap!
freaking
Yes.
crap. I gotta tell you,
An amazing
that's
7 damage
technically
crit.
not enough damage to kill it.
Yeah.
That's a friggin' double crit. So you ducking down, palm the dart, and just uppercut it into this zombie's face, right up through his chin, up through the brain pan, kaboom, stumbles back, defeated. Absolutely fantastic. Why do the dice love you so much? impossible for me to kill you today. I tried. I'm trying so hard. I just need to throw more zombies at you next time.
I know.
Thank you for teaching me this valuable lesson as a game
No,
master. I
it's-
really appreciate all of you.
You don't have to. It's
I've been
fine.
helping.
I'm helping. I'm helping. I love that.
I'm a helper.
He's going to, again, with his bladed, the end of his bladed rifle, he's going to roll 13. Unfortunately, that is not enough to get through on that zombie. This musketeer here is going to reload his musket. He's going to look at that zombie. You see him narrow his eyes, like he looks back at Eckerd and he goes, I've got this. And he brings his rifle to bear. And with all of his might, he's going to go ahead and roll an attack roll. 24 is a hit. Absolutely fantastic. You watch and he takes his time. Eckerd, you hear him let out that breath of air, pulls the trigger, kablam, and the shot strikes true, dealing a whopping, and this might actually drop that guy. 12 points of damage right through his midsection, hits the necromantic heart, thing explodes out, crumples to the ground, and as that transpires, there is another flash of lightning and a crack of thunder that again rolls through the buildings, echoing off. You can hear it like echoing off the walls of this little pathway that you're in, but at the same time, up in the sky, you watch as there is this tiny little spiral of light that appears, as though the sun, because if you remember, it was really just like midday, maybe noon when you guys headed out. The sun is high in the sky, and like a golden beam coming down from the sky, it strikes down into the center of the area you are, and the Clumsy Bear, for just a few seconds, is illuminated in light. As the sounds of combat fade away, the zombies are gone, you can still hear the kind of like stretching and like ripping of vines as the spell is still active, but everyone just takes a breath. And I want to give you guys a moment to interact with each other, interact with Dawkin. Just go ahead and take the scene.
Oh shit, are you guys okay?
Do you mind making the vine stop? Make vine stop being, yeah, okay. I'll just go around them.
I don't think I can turn it off.
You know what?
Yeah, it's dismissible.
You can dismiss the spell.
Oh, is it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Mhm,
Yeah,
absolutely.
after duration, you see the little like parentheses D. That means it's dismissible.
Ah, excellent.
As you wave your hand, Bix, the spell, the vines, they don't disappear, but they writhe back down to their small little bits at the bottom and onto the ground.
Guys, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better.
Good.
Dawkin,
Perhaps you shouldn't be so close to the zombies if they disgust you so much. I mean, I understand, believe me, but it looked like you were having real trouble there.
Oh yeah. It's just they reminded me of this other thing, and you know what? I don't want to think about it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just be over here.
Dawkin is currently crouched down next to his fallen, wounded musketeer. He's checking the wound, and there's a split second where he's looking down. He looks at it. You see this grimace on his face, and then it's like he has this epiphany. He looks over at Eckerd. Eckerd, priest, is there anything that you can do for him?
Last bit of energy, yes. Spontaneously cast Cure Light Wounds, sacrificing his last remaining spell slot for very minor.
3
Very
damage.
minor.
And that is just enough to actually bring him back to consciousness. As you reach down, that golden light flowing forth from the symbol of Abadar down your hand, illuminating, and you watch as bits of that bite out of his arm. The flesh actually seems to rematerialize and grow back into place. But there's still a wicked-looking wound there. He's sitting at 1 HP right now, so he's not feeling too good. But he wakes up, and as he wakes up, he starts to cough a little bit. And you see there's a little bit of black kind of ichor that comes out of his mouth, and he wipes it away. And what happened? Did we win? Am I dead?
Not yet.
Give us a heal check, Eckerd. I want to see if you notice something on this gentleman.
Skills.
Well,
My
I'm out
heal's
of
not
spells.
great.
15.
My heal's okay.
You notice that he has been infected with whatever is affecting the people of this town, and it's only a matter of time, more than likely. It's only a matter of time, or perhaps if you were to, maybe aid him in trying to resist the disease, but he is likely to fall to whatever is afflicting the other people in the town.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and diagnose. See if anyone else is showing symptoms in the party. Seeing what I'm looking for now.
I'm going to give you an inherent bonus on that. Even though that's at 11, I think that's good enough. I would say it's a DC 10 because you know what you're looking for. The only person that's showing signs, you actually wipe your nose briefly, and there's a little bit of black ickiness that's coming out of it as well.
All right.
Gotta tell us if you're bit, man.
Yeah, he'd share the news. Do I know what the disease is? Is it?
It is. It's a not filth fever. It's ghoul fever actually. That's the one. Ghoul fever.
Zombie rot?
Nope, ghoul fever actually.
Mummy rot.
Yeah, it's mummy rot. We have 3 rounds left till we're done.
That would be really mean, and I'm gonna pocket that for a later session. Continue.
How do you get rid of ghoul fever? Does Eckhard know that?
Maybe. Do I know that?
Yeah, I mean, you can just resist it. You get every day you get a chance to resist it and overcome the disease just naturally. Or you can cast Remove Disease, which I don't think you have access to yet. I think that's a level 2 spell.
No, I think it's level 3 spell.
Level 3. Ugh, yikes. So unfortunately,
I know
as of right now,
delay disease is second.
Yeah, you could always delay it when you get to second level. But as of right now, just heal checks could help. Nurturing and care. It's not something you have to be worried about right in this moment. It's over the coming days, it could become a problem.
Well, I think we all need to rest now regardless. I think we're all pretty spent. At least Eckerd is 100% out of resources except for his blessing. Does anyone else have anything left?
Mm-mm.
But I don't have anything to begin with, so.
I could cast like a elemental ray, and I got some minor magic left.
Can I ignore these musketeers and bring Perry in?
Oh,
They're
absolutely.
Kind of blocking
Oh, absolutely.
But
as you push past them, dragging Perry with you, you see the proprietor. You see Sigbert. There it is. You see Sigbert. He is tending to, in a very almost fatherly like style. He's making sure people have food. It's not packed. It's not wall to wall people, but I would say roughly 75% of the building is occupied by citizens of Varnhold who came here fleeing. Maybe the Musketeers helped them, but he's bringing them food, water. He's tending to them. Some of them have minor injuries. His wait staff is, acting as nurses in this moment, but he's doing what Sigbert does. He's making sure his customers are well taken care of. And as you enter in with Perry in your arms, he looks up and he says, "Oh, by the gods, what happened to him?" And he's going to rush over and actually relieve you of holding on to Perry and look down at the boy.
Thank the gods.
And there is I imagine you were straining to hold him up. As he looks down at the boy, you could see this look of worry cross Sigbert's face, and he looks to you. Is he dead?
I think he is fine. I found him and rescued him from the zombie horde. Maybe you can take care of him while I talk with these gentlemen and figure out how to keep everyone safe.
I'll see that he's taken care of. And he like with one arm is like cradling Perry, reaches out, grabs your shoulder firmly, almost presses you down. He's a big honking guy. I mean, for a human, he's almost large size. Like imagine just a mountain of a man. And he reaches out, grabbing your shoulder. You're a good person. You're a good person.
Of course. Yes, I know. Thank you.
We'll get through this. We will get through this. And he lifts up Perry and says, "Samantha, I need help. Got an injured boy here." "Of course, I'm coming." And then she rushes over with some rags and a jug of water, and then he takes Perry into the crowd of people behind there to tend to him. Moving back the scene back to where all of you are standing around, Dawkin and the other musketeer are putting the table back up. That beam of light that broke through the clouds, you watch as the clouds spiral back together, these black clouds, and actually almost like water circling a drain. It spirals back, closing it off, and then the rain begins to fall once again. But letting Ven get back up onto the porch, they start to put the barricades back up.
So do we have a plan, or like, can I have one of those guns? I bet you I'd be great at shooting guns.
The musketeer, too, just behind you as you step in, looks over at you and just says nothing, but the expression that he gives you is not a chance in hell.
We came here to request your help, but it turns out that maybe we were more of help to you after all, which is good and all, but it does not look well for our future, because there are dozens and dozens more of these zombies, as well as an angry hag witch person.
At the mention of the hag, Dawkin, who has just finished, along with the other musketeer, replacing that center table, and although it was split in half, they've managed to kind of push it together and just create a temporary barricade there. You know, they took another table.
I think I cast mending.
You cast mending? So as they're
I
placing
will
it
if you
here-
don't.
No, I don't know how. I can press the digitate, but I can't mend.
I can mend.
I can mend it, yeah.
Excellent. As Eckerd is helping, you watch as the wood literally stitches itself back together, just like solidifying itself together. Dawkin nodding his head. And once again, priest, I am in your debt. Thank you. As to your question, it was Ven, correct?
Yeah, Ven Wavar Halbrand.
Yes,
And he sticks his hand out to shake.
the stable boy, and he does like it's not a limp shake, but it's a very quick, solid shake, let's go. It would appear that we likely need to help each other. Now, priest, Eckerd, you mentioned that the queen is safe in the mint.
Last I checked, yes. But it's been, what, an hour since we've left there. The blessings seem to
Feels
keep
like
out
weeks.
the first.
Hey, yeah, it's been weeks, but Dawkin, for a moment, has a slightly worried expression on his face, Eckerd, as he's looking at you. You can just see his brows kind of like pushed down. His face looks worried, and then it washes away, and there's a determined look on his face. I took over as commander of this city when the queen arrived here, but candidly speaking, I don't think I'm necessarily cut out for this. And some of the musketeers are kind of talking amongst themselves, and they're like, no, Dawkin, you're doing fine. And you can see that determined look. Eckerd, I'm not even going to make you roll a check for this. You know people. You've interacted with people. I mean, you're a priest. You take confessions sometimes, I'm assured. And you can see that he's having a moment of self-doubt right now. And looking around, you see the bodies of the zombies. You see, the injured musketeer, the other one's helping him to his feet, beginning to help him back inside. He looks to the five of you, the four of you, five if you include Pauly, which I think we should.
Better.
And he says nothing. He just looks like he is not sure where to go from here. He's waiting for maybe some sort of reassurance or even just a suggestion of the next course of action.
Well, a good commander would give me a gun, because I would probably be very good with it.
Eckerd would put a hand on his shoulder and say, you don't know how bad this would be without you. You've got to assume you're making a difference.
Yeah, dude, you're doing great.
And
Pauly gives him a little.
Pauly's like up on his hind legs.
Okay, but seriously, how do the rifles work? I'm very interested.
months, if not years of trading. Horse, stable boy. Thank you, Eckerd, and thank you, Pauly, it was?
That's Pauly.
And looks to Bix, thank you. And his eyes actually meander towards the doorway, looking at all the people inside. And you can see this expression of doubt, this expression of uncertainty starts to again wash away and is replaced with a not bold confidence, but with a resolve, this feeling of resolve, and he's looking a little more assured.
That's
You're right.
That's Let's go inside and draw the curtains and keep the noise down. See if we can avoid any more attention.
It does appear that these things are drawn by sound. It was us trying to make our way towards the mint that actually drew them here. If we are quiet, perhaps it will give us a bit of respite. Men, help him inside and make sure the barricades are secured. And he starts giving orders to the remaining musketeers inside. You hear some of the musketeers saying, all right, everyone need to be quiet. And it allows everyone to pivot inside. He does post a guard. The other two musketeers that were not wounded, he posts a guard there so they can watch through the curtains. They close the door. They draw the curtains, close the blinds. I don't know what you want to call it. And
shutters, whatever.
Start to just secure the Clumsy Bear.
Ben
And
slouches into one of the seats at one of the tables, and it's just like, fucking musketeers, all a bit holier than thou. Oh, we're musketeers. We have guns. Look at this.
Didn't you shoot yourself in the face with your magic-y things just a few
No,
minutes?
it was blowback from the powerful fire magics that I was manipulating with simply the power of my mind. Fox man, Jesus.
It just seems like maybe doing that with a gun will be worse.
I think, yeah, the guns are way longer than my arms. I'm not gonna be able to point that barrel of a gun accidentally at my face. Not that that's a thing I do with my own magic.
Better be safe either way.
It's still a douche move for them not to give me like any port in a
Mr.
storm.
Dawkin, just ignore Ven as he goes on.
Then, though, I'd like you to give us a perception check in this moment, please. There's something funny that you might notice. What was that?
Sorry, that was mine.
Yeah, no, good. So you know what, Ven? You're so hyper-focused on a musket. Along the wall, next to where the piano is, you see several muskets lined up and laid there. As though they are at the ready. I'm gonna throw that at you. I'm gonna see what you do with it. I'm not saying that you sneak over there and steal one. I'm not saying that you do or you don't. I'm saying that you might sneak over there and steal one. So it is what it is. This is certainly not going to end poorly. And with that stealth check, you find 10 bullets and enough gunpowder for 10 shots as well. Nice little stack right there. And if you want to go ahead and take that, maybe walk off with it. I don't know. Everyone's kind of distracted, keeling with each other. But let's pivot over to Eckhard. You had a diplomacy check that you wanted to make.
Oh, I was trying to poll the people that are in the building to see if there's anyone capable of providing like long-term care for the disease, if they're instructed on what to do.
You know what? Yes, absolutely. There's a couple of not clerics, but maybe acolytes that don't have any actual true magic ability, but they might be able to cast like minor
or somebody's
spells.
mom.
Or someone's mom. There's a couple of moms there. Oh, of course. Let's get some chicken noodle soup. Of course. Here you are, young man. And they can actually give you a bonus. So whenever the next day comes, you guys are all going to get anybody that's, you, Eckerd, will get a +5 to your fortitude save to try to overcome and resist the disease.
Excellent.
From Mom's chicken noodle soup,
Yes.
They're known, in Varnhold, they're known well for the chicken noodle soup of the moms. It's a thing. Totally a thing that exists. And Mikhael, I believe you had leaned over to Dawkin, who takes a seat. And in front of him, there is a map of the city. And it's very similar to that map that we had you on right before we went to this scene. And he's just looking at it, and he's got like a little pencil, and he's just making very light marks of like where they've been, what he knows, where you see some X's and then some M's that might represent musketeers, just taking it all in as you watch. And he's leaning down, hand up on his face, just kind of mumbling to himself. All right, so they were situated here, assuming that they're still alive. Then if we were to pivot to there, we could gather more troops. I assume the barracks is still solid. And then he just goes off a little bit.
Mr. Dawkin? Was it?
Yes, Mikhail, correct?
That is me, yes.
Thank you for your timely assistance. I'm sorry if I've been a bit short, and he'll extend his hand to you, and it's a little bit more of a firmer shake, a little longer shake than he gave to Ven, who keeps asking for a gun, and actually now has one. Good news, he doesn't notice it as well, because that was a 22 on your stealth check. That was such a solid... Your guys' nat 20s tonight.
I like how you're saving your attack rolls your not ones for attack rolls.
for stealing
yeah.
guns. It's
yeah,
so
for when you
good.
have the gun. Yeah.
That's so fantastic. I love it. But he looks over and you have his full attention in this moment.
Well, I just thought that you would know, that you should know, if you're not already aware of it, that the hag is probably looking for us because she thinks rather accurately that we can lead her to the queen. And, well, normally I would suggest that maybe we should leave this place and distract her otherwise. But she is known to take hostages for luring us closer. Therefore, I really think that we should be the first ones to take action, if possible.
Dawkin has, again, eyes locked on yours, absorbing everything that you're telling to him. Drill, what's up? And he's just absorbing everything that you are saying to him. And that look, he's a very expressive person. Like, he doesn't hide his emotions well. You can read him literally like a book, which you're good at reading people anyway. He can read him like a book. And you can see that he has an idea. It's almost like a little explosion. His eyes widen slightly. There's a little bit of a smile in the corner
See
of
the
his
light
mouth.
bulb.
You
and
see
reach up and
literally
pull.
like the light beams out of his ears. It might be a medical condition. You might want to have Eckerd look at it. So with that being said, he's got light bulb disease. Anyway, we digress again. So he opens up and he goes, "A trap. We can use this."
Yes,
She was asking you. You ran into her, correct?
correct.
So
Yes.
So she was asking you where the queen was, meaning that she doesn't yet know where the queen is. This is good. This means that
Yes.
she's looking for you because you are her means to find her. We can.
Yes, you're
can
rather
use
good at
this.
following
We
along.
Can use this.
Yes,
We need a way
correct.
to lay a trap. A trap. This can work.
Now, I don't I don't mean to brag, but I think maybe I might be able to pretend to be the queen, if that might fool the witch into coming here.
And we're gonna have Dawkin roll a quick knowledge local.
But
And
soon.
see if he knows. He, because he can't hide his emotions, looks very confused. How would you do that?
I will transform into the queen real quick.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And you can do that? That's wow.
It
This
is-
I have to be honest with you, Mikhail. This is a lot better than the plan I had, which was to send one of you running, screaming through the streets, and then hopefully drag her towards our trap. This is likely going to work better. This is good.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm glad that you took my suggestion. Thank you very much for your consideration.
As you say that in the queen's voice. Or wait, can you speak in? Do you take on the
I-
voices as well?
I
or-
can, but I'm doing it in my own voice.
That
so
is
it's rather
very jarring. Dawkin, like you could see him kind of like look a little nervous as this happened, and then he almost like stood up a little straighter and went to salute.
Oh,
But,
I'm sorry. I should perhaps talk like this instead, if this
Could you
feels
go
more
back to
convincing.
the other with the nose and the ears? That would be great.
Right. Yes,
Thank you.
Of course.
Wonderful.
Transform back.
And transform back. All right, I like it. I like where your mind's at. All right. And I like that. What is Bix doing? What is Pauly doing in this moment?
We are sitting on the table watching everyone else.
Mhm.
We don't really do the social stuff
Mhm.
very much. We're just having a quiet drink and chuckling at the antics of the rest of the party.
I like it. A young girl, looks to be a child, maybe no older than 10, saddles up next to you and just puts her hands on the edge of the table. Pauly is obviously, as you mentioned, up next to you. I believe you had said he is like maybe lapping up something. You're having a drink and just, trying to, he's being Pauly. His furs managed to get smoothed out. He doesn't look like a giant, I don't know, furry balloon anymore,
ball,
which is
right.
good, a little poof ball. And she's nervously, just looking almost as though she's trying to hide, but doing just a terrible job. She's not Ven over here stealing guns, and she's just hiding right there. And she's just looking at Pauly with this wide-eyed wonderment, and almost like, you get the impression she maybe wants to pet him.
Bix looks over at Pauly and gives him a wink, and then starts running him through like a routine of tricks, like skate, sit up, roll over, sit up.
The girl starts giggling. You can still only see the top part of her eyes and her little fingers on the edge, but from underneath the table, you hear this muffled giggling as she watches Pauly start doing these little tricks and spins and the rolling, and maybe he does like a backflip and maybe catches a piece of food in the air, and she's just giggling. And as that happens, over to the table that she came over from, you see that there is a mother and father figure, and you can tell obviously they're related. This is likely her parents, and they look over at you, and again, everyone inside has this, although they know that they're in this moment safe, there is this just feeling, it's a tension in the air, this nervousness about what is to transpire, what is to happen next. But you see their expressions soften, you see their expressions turn to small smiles at the hearing. Like, they were both looking at each other. The husband was leaning in. He had his wife's hand. She was leaning in. They just, they're obviously having this intense conversation, like, what's going to happen? Are we going to make it through this? But at hearing the child's laughter, they both look over. And for a moment, you can see that the worry, all of the chaos, the zombies, the dark rain, the disease flooding through this city, these strange arcane symbols that have popped up, all they are focused on right now in this moment is their daughter. And for that scene, I'm going to go ahead and award you an extra hero point, because I thought that was absolutely fantastic, Bix. Absolutely fantastic. And anything else that Bix is doing in this moment?
He would eventually, he's not going to talk to the little girl, like she, he doesn't need to traumatize her with his weirdness, but he gives Pauly the nod, and Pauly will jump down and let her pet him.
Yeah, he scurries under the table and actually like pops up next to her and mirrors her, putting his paws on the edge of the table. And she's startled for a moment, but then he like does that little Pauly thing where he tilts his head to the side and nuzzles her a little bit, and then she starts petting him, and the parents just watch with smiles and a little bit of relief in this nice moment.
I'll just look over and raise a mug and take a drink, and
they
just
nod
kind of look back
and
down.
Smile with appreciation at that. There's gratitude because you're distracting their daughter from the chaos and them as well. Eckerd, what are you up to?
He's gonna settle into a corner and start dozing off with his arms across his chest. He's tired. He's spent, ran half the city in heavy armor and had 3 combats today.
Give us a perception check, please.
Not bad.
From the back corner, so imagine, if you will, there's a stairwell off up to the kind of the left-hand side of where you guys walked in from. And there's a nice little nook next to the bar where there's just a little bit of space where you could settle down, find an open floor space to give yourself a little bit of rest. And as you settle down, from back in the corner here, you hear a conversation. You hear this conversation of, well, I mean, we're close to the east gate. No, the west gate. I think if we made a run for it, we could get out of here and get out of the city. This place is damned. We're all gonna die if we stay here. And there's a group of young adults, 2 men and a woman, dressed in not bandit clothing by any means, but they look like, maybe street urchins. I would hesitate to use the word ruffians, but they look like, some folks that likely don't have a place to stay and make their homes in the streets, probably hang out with Perry. But they are plotting to try and escape. They're plotting to maybe run away from this building right now. And I just want to know if Eckerd steps in or just lets them talk.
Eckerd would sigh, having just settled down and stand up and make his way over and listen for a couple more seconds before he kind of knocks on the wall behind them if they didn't hear him approach, which wouldn't be hard.
They are so focused on their conversation. You see this little like side room. The door is open. They're not trying to hide, but they're obviously trying to have this private conversation. And as you saddle up, stride up, knock, knock, knock on the wooden wall, they all jump for a moment, freeze in place like deer in headlight, and then turn to face you.
You might make it, but you might not. I don't think it's worth it, but you'll do as you will. He gives a little bit of a melancholy talk here. I would say that you're likely to run into a dozen zombies in those streets, based on what I've seen out there, and the crowd here could take a dozen. You might take losses, but the three of you, it wouldn't matter, and you can't outrun them. They're not going to tire. They'll just run and run until they catch you. Especially if you get outside the walls. The gate happens to be open. It'll be open ground. They might chase you for 10, 20 miles before you get exhausted and drop. The dead don't reason. The dead don't think. The dead just feed. And he's going to turn away and let them make their own decision.
As you turn away,
them into staying.
As you turn away, it's the girl. You've made a good 10 feet away, and she's not being quiet. And it's the girl that speaks, and she says to the two boys that are with her, "I told you it was a dumb idea to try and leave. You guys are idiots. You almost got me killed." And you hear this simultaneous smack on the back of heads, and they all settle down to, meet their fate inside of the Clumsy Bear. And last, but certainly not least, I want to hear from Ven. What is Ven doing in this moment?
Ven's trying to figure out how this gun works.
So
wait for it to go off.
So he's moved to a back table. He's just sitting at this table. He's like got the gun laid out. He's like trying to disassemble it.
And you are messing with the gun. What I'm going to have you roll is just a general intelligence check. And we're going to see what fate.
Oh, he has knowledge engineering, doesn't he?
Come on. Oh! You know what? Guns aren't that complicated. There's a thing, pulls back, you put some gunpowder in there, there's a little flint, strikes it, corrects little explosion inside, propels the bullet out. You've managed to take the butt of the rifle off. You've got the barrel undone. You're looking down, making sure that the boring is good. You know what? Rifles aren't bad. And what I'm going to do, because I think this is funny, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you weapon focus musket. I'm going to give you a free feat in this moment. Now, that doesn't mean you're trained in it, so you'd still have to find some training.
Yeah.
Because you're still going to take some major minuses with it, but you have weapon focus. I think that is funny.
Nice.
I'm going to give that to you. That was a crazy good
It
roll.
is super funny that we're skipping the proficiency.
Yeah, we're just going to go straight past it. You're going to get weapon focus, but you don't have the proficiency yet.
I don't have the proficiency yet.
You've never actually fired it. You just know how they work. And
yeah,
sure you
exactly.
Yeah, it's good. That's where we're at. So good stuff. And as you're milling about, or at the table, not milling, but you're working at the table, you're taking the gun apart, etc. I need you to roll me a very important D100 roll. And before you do, I need you to pick whether or not you want high or low.
Oh, see, I'm the opposite of Blau. I always want high.
Oh!
Yeah.
You see a couple of musketeers that are milling about, but none of them approach your table for whatever reason. The universe is on your side in this moment. The universe is on your side in this moment. I don't know, maybe. We'll see the first time he goes to pull the trigger and blows his hand off, but
that's right.
We're going to see. I feel good about it.
Yeah, I also feel good about it.
Wonderful.
I'm excited.
If you take one rank in Gunslinger and become a magic gunslinger, I'm not going to say no.
I'm thinking about it.
I'm just saying, as a personal suggestion from the Game Master, I fully support you in this decision to be a magical gunslinger. I think there's a story to be told there, but I digress. So, unless anyone else has any other scenes they'd like to play out, Eckerd, you've settled into the corner. Bix, Pauly's still entertaining the young girl. We've got Mikhael. I believe you were still having a conversation with Dawkin, so let's actually pivot back to that, because we did cut that kind of mid-conversation. You guys are trying to plot or set up how you're going to create this, I guess, ambush for it? Okay, perfect. So go ahead and take it.
I'm just like giving him ideas and trying to, like, I don't want it to feel like I'm just telling him what to do. I'm giving him like suggestions and having him
You're
extrapolate
him
on it.
like 30% of an idea, and then letting him complete the other 70. So it feels like it was his idea. Make a bluff check.
You know what? That's fair.
Right. Very nice. Very nice. So you are going ahead. Thank you, Drill. I'll go ahead and drink some water. Thank you very much. This isn't coffee. It's actually water. Okay, we're good. And you are feeding back and forth. So what is the plan? What is the plan that Mikhail is feeding to him? Because obviously he's completing it, but what's the suggestions? What's kind of those prompts that you're giving Dawkin to set up this ambush?
Okay, so my thought is that we should make it look like we're moving the queen like from a safe locate from like the location that is kind of safe. I mean, she kind of knows about it from what we know. Like moving her somewhere else, and like we're gonna kind of pretend that it's secretive, but we're gonna let her see us so that she knows that we're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're probably gonna need some kind of distraction for the zombies, so we don't face 100 zombies with the hag. So I don't know how that's going to happen yet. I'm probably going to suggest that the Musketeers can do it because they've got loud guns.
I like it.
I don't know if you would like that plan, but
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pivot you guys over to, imagine that this is the map that's on the table in the Clumsy Bear. And I'm going to pivot you guys over to here. You're not in the castle district, but you guys are like right over in the corner. And you're looking at it. And if you remember from before, I had mentioned that he had a couple of X's, some M's, and he's actually going to explain to Mikhail what these mean. So the M's, as fate would have it, represent Musketeers, where he last knew that their patrols were located. And I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of quick marks on the map. I'm going to draw these in red so they're easy to see. So we got Musketeers here. We got some Musketeers here. We got some Musketeers here. And we had some Musketeers over here. Kind of located in relation and in the general area of where some of the gates are. Okay, that's where a lot of the Musketeers were stationed. They were acting as kind of sergeants for the Varnhold Guard, etc. And then a couple of the X's are where he knows... Oops, that should have been red. Let me go ahead and update that. The X's, he says, is where he knows there are likely some guards made a stand. Now, it doesn't mean that they're still there. It doesn't mean that they have fallen. But these are the locations where he thinks we might be able to gather allies or extra supporters, give you some extra guns, as it were. So you've got some options, and he's spitballing ideas back and forth with you, Mikhail. And you see him, he rubs his chin. He's a clean-shaven, he's not Darewolf. He doesn't have a large, luxurious beard. He's clean-shaven. He's kind of rubbing his chin as so. And he points over at this M here, and then points over this M. Assuming that the zombies haven't gotten to them, and they've managed to hold up. These are the two closest locations, and if we could get even 3, 4, half a dozen more Musketeers, that would give us enough guns to likely distract the zombies and still keep some in reserve for when we set the trap for the hag. But getting to them, there's no way to know where the hordes are, and there's no way to know where the hag is. Which among you is the stealthiest?
I suppose that would be me again.
Are you prepared
Well,
to put your life on the line and
Also,
hunt together allies?
I mean, Bix and Pauly are also quite capable. I mean, we could use them too if they are willing. Now, I don't think maybe we should ask around. Like maybe someone has some sort of magical means to do this. Is there any spellcaster in your ranks?
And he does a slow, regretful shake of his head. Unfortunately, not.
All right, very well. I propose I think we have made a good start. We should probably find the rest of the fighting men and women and people and get them to share their capabilities and discuss this together as a group.
Although Mikhael is very good at reading Dawkin, I want you to go ahead and make a sense motive check right now.
Yeah. Very well. Sense motive. Not good.
Yeah, you think for a moment you see a dim light bulb behind his eyes, but it fades quickly.
It's fine. It probably wasn't that good. Yeah, I'll just tell him that we should probably get more people involved in this planning phase.
Mm-hmm. And Dawkin
although
makes
he is doing such a good job.
Dawkin makes motion for the Musketeers to come over. You know, the one that's injured is gonna remain seating and is getting some aid and some, Varnholdbaum chicken noodle soup. And look like he's feeling a little bit better. And we've got Ven over in his private table, surrounded by civilians. Putting the gun back together and apparently having weapon focus, even though he doesn't have proficiency, because the rules are just guidelines more than actual rules. And we've got the Musketeers start coming over, and Bix, you see, it looks like people are gathering at the table where Dawkin is sitting with Mikhael.
Yeah, Eckhard, seeing something's going on, Kirsten does Abadar's vault and stands up, moving over.
Every time he goes to take a nap, just doesn't happen. Doesn't happen, unfortunately. I'm going to move you guys back over to the tavern, the Clumsy Bears location. And you all make your way over to the table. The young girl has moved back to her parents, and you can hear the chatter from her. And she's like, and he did tricks, and he jumped, and he did a spin, and he ate food out of my hand, and he did this, and he did that. And the parents are just absorbing the glee from their daughter, and just
drank a whole flask of ale.
And he drank a whole flask of ale, and he didn't get drunk like Daddy does. And we digress because that's dark. But anyway, we're gonna move on from that. So everyone else has moved over, and I'm curious, does Ven come over to the table as well, or is he gonna hang out with his new toy?
Once I finish putting the musket back together, I'll slide it in. Actually, what will he do? He just throws it over his shoulder as if I had one the whole time, and it just walks over the table, like, yeah, here I am. And
because I think it's funny, the Musketeers don't seem to notice that you have a musket on your back, because maybe you positioned it. It kind of looks like your staff, and it's just everyone's focused on the map.
I've left the lantern staff over, but with the muskets, so it's clearly like there. just walking around with it.
Yeah, you did a trade. Yeah.
That's fair. That's equitable. That's an equitable trade.
Right?
I like
That's
that.
A fair
That's
trade.
so good. Oh my god, that is too funny. All right, and so you've all gathered, at the table, and you've all heard what's transpired. Dawkin, Mikhail, you guys give a quick discussion of what the plan is, and open the floor to you all to offer suggestions or additional advice.
I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty stealthy. However, I don't have any magical. I don't have any magic that'll help us.
I can hide up to 6 people from undead for 20 minutes, but I would have to wait until dawn. So we could potentially send runners to the 2 nearest.
I mean, Pauly and I can sneak around pretty well.
Also, my mage armor is about to wear off, so I don't want to go back up there. Thank you.
It does seem that you all look very tired, but I mean, I'm only speaking as a humble merchant here with no tactical knowledge whatsoever. But maybe we don't have time until dawn. because the city is crawling with zombies. What do you think, Mr. Dawkin?
And Dawkin has been listening to the conversation, but has his hands together, fingers intertwined, and is looking at the map. On one hand, if we head out right now, there is a greater chance that we are able to find survivors and rally the troops, as it were. But on the other hand, if we leave, as we are all exhausted, and his eyes and his vision, it drifts over to his injured man that is lying on the table receiving chicken noodle soup and first aid. There is the risk that we'll be too exhausted and simply be overrun. As much as it pains me, I think we need to rest and recoup. We appear to be, as long as we keep it quiet, safe in the Clumsy Bear for now. And I would rather us be at full fighting strength than risk running into a horde. I have to trust that my men and the guards of this town are capable enough to hold their own for the coming hours.
It is a wise decision. Perhaps a compromise between the two plans. Perhaps while the rest of you rest, maybe Bix, Pauly, and I could at least try to ascertain the location of the nearby Musketeers.
And I want to pause there, because then you just made a comment, and I want to hear what you two discuss with each other as you whisper this conversation. I want to hear this conversation.
Yeah, me too, honestly.
Eckerd would lean back over and grimace because of his sore muscles. Say, whispering, not particularly quietly. He's not
you're having
a subtle person.
Have a bit of a private conversation.
Yeah, but he's not trying to out Vin at all. He just says, he spent his time talking to them. I don't know. I was trying to take a nap. Just kind of brushing off the comment. He was on board about the weirdness at the temple, but here he's either too exhausted to care or kind of brushes it off as, I passed out for 20 minutes earlier. I don't know what they were doing during that whole time.
I like it.
I just think it's weird. There's something off about that fox dude. I think we should keep our eye on him. I don't think we should let him wander off by himself.
I don't think he's going to be wandering off anywhere that's a city like this.
Eckhard, he just suggested he wander off by himself.
Did he? I didn't hear that at all.
Literally just now.
Oh yeah, we shouldn't do that.
Eckhard, are you okay?
No, Eckerd's really tired. Also, I'm really tired in real life from my drive back.
Ven like puts his arm on Eckerd's shoulder, like, are you okay? I vote we rest, because I don't think Eckerd's doing all right.
That is so good. That is so good. And Mikhail, let's put it back to you. Does Bix have anything? Does he have any suggestions? Mikhail's just suggestion.
I did just propose something
that you
Bix
wander off to go and maybe find some survivors.
Oh man, this is way out of my normal shit, dude. But yeah, we can go looking. I'm kind of out of any powers I have, but
Of course,
Pauly and I can hide pretty well, anyways.
How long does it take to walk from one city together?
That's a great question. Let me go over to the map really quick. Let me
I didn't know if the scale was accurate. It looks like it's 800 meters across.
It's bigger than that. I apologize.
Yeah.
It
No
would
problem.
take you, I'd say, from one end of the city to the other, walking at just a steady pace, 30 minutes. It's big.
Okay, so hustling maybe 15.
Yeah. So the other locations, if you were to hustle to them, where, the ones that are within close range, so there was the M, there was the X of the, Varnhold Guard, and there were 2 M's. Those would take you, if you hustled, maybe 5 minutes. If you walked at a slow and steady pace, or if you snuck, 15, slow, steady, just walk, 10. So you could sneak there in 15, you could, quickly get there in 5, but they're all very, very close.
Okay, so in other words, sneak there slowly, run the hell back pretty fast.
Seems fair.
Did he didn't mention it, but would Dawkin know where the captain of the guard actually is? Like,
he assumes that she is likely with one of the guards, and he doesn't know where she would have been during the day. He'd actually been meaning to, during this day, meet with her and discuss the recent power shift in Varnhold. And unfortunately, a hag showed up and turned half the population into zombies and created this weird disease reign. So this is where we find ourselves.
Yep. I'll just have to hope that she's with the ones that are closer, I think. Because we can't go to the further one. All right, I recommend that we go and scout ahead in that supposed location of the guards. And obviously, if it proves too dangerous, then we are to return here without engaging the enemy.
And Mikhail,
I think
go ahead, please.
I think leaving before the morning would just be an unnecessary risk. As I said, once dawn comes, I can cast hide from undead, and you can sprint down the street and they won't come after you.
Well, I think that is fine as well, if that is what the majority decides. I mean, I'm only trying to look out for the poor guards that are stranded by themselves and possibly looking for a way out.
So just so that I'm in the clear and that I understand what the plan is here. The plan is currently to wait for the morning and then head out once you're able to use hide from undead, give you plenty of time where you can actually run, find the other musketeers, bring them back, and have enough time to run and find the other ones, maybe even hit the guard as well, and likely gather everyone. Okay. Very important rolls. Each of you is going to go ahead and roll a D100. I'm not going to tell you if you need high or low. I just need you each to roll a D100.
God, I hope it's high.
Ooh.
I really hope
Oh,
it's high.
man, I really hope it's high.
Wow. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, this is the number of zombies that come after us.
And
Yeah.
give me 1 second.
And then
right.
several hundred zombies later.
So, as you all settle down and hunker down for the night to rest, heal your wounds, regain your magic spells, other than some very far off and very quiet shuffling and moans, you hear no gunfire, you hear no clashes. However, what you do hear, somewhere off in the distance, is a clap. And that, my friends, is where we'll end today's session. So thank you, everybody.
Yes.
Had a great time.
Oh my
That is
God.
where we're at. So yeah, great job, guys. It's so good to be back. I thank you so much. Eckerd, Blau, thank you so much for being here. I know you're exhausted. You had a long freaking drive back, so thank you so much for being here. And all of you guys, just thank you. I really like this group. And then that stealth roll, like what the hell?
I couldn't believe
man?
it.
Like, oh my God. And then the Mikhael crit, the uppercut, just
Yeah.
like double crit. Like, the dice loved you guys tonight. And you know what? Dice have a story to tell, and they're telling that you guys are apparently complete bamfs. So it's wonderful. To all of our viewers that were here, also want to just extend a thank you to you guys. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And until next time, happy gaming, be well, be safe, and go play some RPGs yourself as well. You'll see these fine gentlemen back here next Wednesday. Our new start time is going to be 8:30 Eastern, so whatever time zone you're in, 8:30. Ven, thank you, man. I know you rush right home. Brian over here, Azrael, rushes right home, literally gets home, grabs some food, and just jumps right onto the stream. So I know you haven't had a chance to like decompress, so thank you so much. You brought your A game. All of you brought your A game. But we will see you guys next Wednesday for session 5 of Broken Oaths, where I think the goal here is to try and retake the city. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's where we're at. So now it's time for you guys to go on the offensive. So we'll see you guys later. Be well, be safe, and cheers.